It's Halloween. We are going to be starting off with the series of torturing my math teacher every time she gives me homework. A one that I've seen. I only saw like the first video, which is how long ago was that? Like, oh, it doesn't say. It was several months ago, but I felt like it was a good thing to start off our Halloween with, and then I guess we'll do a nice little palate cleanse with some cute cat videos. Yeah, this is from Luke Art, and we will see what horrifying creatures from beyond the pale we're gonna be assaulting our eyes with. But yeah.
Day 1 of torturing my math teacher every time he gives me homework. Day 1 of torturing.
Okay, I guess he has multiple math teachers. Since this is a he, but another video was a she. But anyway,
Torturing my math teacher every time he gives me homework.
is he even answering the questions? Like it'd be bad. It's bad enough that he's putting this kind of horrifying imagery on his test, but then he's not even answering the damn questions. But I mean, let's look at some of the comments. Yeah. All shits and giggles until the teacher disappears without a trace. True. Yeah. The real torture is the homework he gave you. I mean, I don't know. Hey, Taylor Nunez. Yep. Happy Halloween. Right now, no, I don't. I guess my plans are to just check out spooky, scary. I almost call them TikToks. YouTube shorts from the like really great horror artist Luke Art. Terrifyingly good at his craft. Yeah. Oh, yeah, now he's inspiring more people. Like, man, I gotta try that. I love drawing horror. Like, more terrifying, more math teachers. Yeah, so wait, are there day twos? No, it's a different. He has him drawing it for his crush. Yeah. All right. I see the
Day 2 of torturing my math teacher every time he gives me homework.
I mean, I'll be the first to admit I never liked math in school, but this is like this was a little much, you know. It's like I mean, like this is okay. Well, granted, these are like integrals. It looks like, so I don't know. Maybe it's maybe it's justified. I mean, for some reason, I was imagining this as a high schooler doing it. But I mean, if they're integrals, probably college. I don't know. Maybe that changes the moral calculus of this horror. But yeah. Yeah. My boy is giving more time in psychological warfare than actually solving the homework. Yeah, J. Rick History has they've hit the nail on the head. Yeah. Yeah, math teacher's gonna think something is wrong with you. Yeah, probably. Yeah, all shits and giggles until that traumatized teacher pulls out all these worksheets during the parent-teacher meeting. Yeah. Interesting comment from your local bean on fire that this little dude, he looks cute for some reason. I mean, maybe like the sort of bilateral, or not bilateral, like sort of. What's the opposite of bilateral? It's like I mean, bilateral symmetry is the normal style. It's more like radial symmetry of this creature, the freaking eyeball. I mean, at least he's not looking at us. That would be something else. It looks like he's thoughtfully considering his options in this math problem, which is, not bad. Perhaps he can see the answer, but we cannot. Let me just open these in my tabs. So I don't have to keep going back and forth. Nice little preview of what horrors we're about to experience. Yeah, the art does look great, but there are other ways to get your art skills acknowledged, though. But then again, homework does suck. Now, I mean, presumably this is not actually a student, or I mean, maybe they are a student, but they're printing out a copy of their test and then doing the actual homework on the real copy and then drawing. I mean, that's probably what's happening. I can't imagine this person is potentially tanking their academic career. I mean, to be fair, they are routinely making millions of views on these shorts. I mean, they're probably getting a little bit of revenue back from this. It's not totally without merit. And I mean, this is at the level where you're actually getting paid in exposure, and it actually is meaningful. But let's move on to day 3. I mean, purposely giving them these goofy ass names. I don't know, that does kind of make it seem a little sillier. I mean, it makes it possible to imagine that they aren't necessarily dangerous eldritch horrors out for your like psychic blood or whatever. Like maybe they're just weirdos, but they're otherwise they're weird looking, but they're otherwise decent folk. We can, coping and whatnot. Yeah. Jokes on you as a math teacher. He has no sanity level whatsoever. Yeah. For those of us who saw my reaction to that anti-portals video. I mean, yeah. Math people they're already dealing with non-Euclidean horrors from beyond our comprehension. So, maybe this is just within the ballpark for the math teacher. No, it's all shits and giggles until the teacher sends a drawing back to you. Now that, that would be something else. Giving my student more homework for every time he draws something scary on his paper. Yeah, it's probably like exponentially more difficult homework. Yeah, I mean, this is like the last ones we saw. We were looking at like calculus sort of things, where this is just a normal, like. Is it polynomial expressions? I mean, this is just you're just dividing polynomials. Which I mean, I say you're just dividing polynomials. Like I remember how to do it, but that's algebra, and which is a step down from calculus. Quite a step down. Yeah. Like Zediver says, it's a bit of a distinguished gentleman with a top hat. Even this is probably the least startling of the entities so far. But yeah, we will see. We'll see if that holds up going forward. All right, yeah, we got Steve. Besides his let's call it a winning smile. He's waving at us pretty congenially. I mean, he even looks kind of nervous almost. Like he's worried that we're not gonna, he's worried about how this wave is gonna come across. And so, yeah, we can read into this a little some good naturedness. Okay, so yeah, so Luke is clearing up some confusion. His teacher is okay. So I was reading into it. That was just a typo. The teacher is a male. But yeah, yeah, Taylor. It would be interesting if if this person drew something akin to life. That would either be awesome or terrifying, depending. Well, really depending. Like, I mean, if this drawing, if my read of this drawing is correct, and this is just a kind of a socially awkward being named Steve, then yeah, it would probably be awesome. I mean, I'm not sure how much of a conversationalist they are. I mean, if they're good at conversating, then it could be very a fun interaction. But I mean, if they're some awkward fuck and they can't hold a conversation, kind of like me, then it's probably not gonna work out. But yeah, day 4 of grading my students' homework at night to be more productive during the day. Yes, is probably gonna stop doing that if these are kinds of imagery that the teacher is being presented with. When the customary, it's always shits and giggles until the parental meeting. The teacher slides to your mom the homework assignment. But yeah.
You hear it? You'll hear the laughter of thousands as the sky opens up.
Okay, interesting change up for the
You'll
audio.
hear the trumpets play their happy sounds. The streaming blood of life will pour down onto us all.
Now I've been assuming that he was making up making these drawings out of his own head. But isn't this a famous creature from one of them analog horrors? And I feel like I recognize this from before this series. But yeah. Oh, okay. LukeArt is giving us, he's drip feeding us lore, real life lore. His math teacher's name is Joel, which sounds like a name that you would hear in one of these horror stories. But yeah, mental facility speedrun any percent. Yeah. The math problems traumatize you more than the drawing. I mean, this is like geometry stuff. Yeah, which is the following graph best represents. Like, this isn't even a math problem. This is just, I mean, like, there's no calculation going on here. Just figuring out which one best represents x times 1 minus x, which is like, to be fair, I don't remember what that would be. I mean, I'm pretty sure the x minus 1 that shifts it horizontally, I think. But I don't know how multiplying that by x, I don't remember how that would affect the resulting graph. But yeah. And anyway, we're not talking about the math. We're talking about the frightening creature with the very spiky ass head, would really. I like that. Definitely adds to the, like, more than most of the elements on this creature. Yeah. But actually, he didn't name this one. That may be because this is a pre-existing horror, or I don't know. I guess people in the comments can correct me, but yeah. And anyway, yeah, like I was saying, the spikes definitely feel like they add more to the horror element. Almost like a weird cellular being that's got like its flagellas poking out and whatnot. I mean, obviously, also the wide open maw of a mouth is not comforting. I mean, the hand twisted though maybe is also, potentially waving at us, or maybe it's reaching for us. I don't, these are very kind of Rorschach type images. The kind of, you see what you project onto it. Though, to be fair, I feel like my projection of horror on this is probably not without merit. Yeah. And the sketch here actually looks decently you know decently not horrifying. I mean, I can even imagine it being part of some kid-friendly Halloween special. But yeah, we'll see what the finished product looks like. But before that, so they're saying these shorts remind you of your childhood, and you were in this kind of thing. Yeah, you were a creep positive kid, or I assume that means you were into creepiness. Yeah, modern creepypasta. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, these are basically just modern creepypasta. Just I guess without the conceit. Well, I guess there is still a conceit of it being real. I guess. But anyway, I too was also a child who was obsessed with creepy, spooky shit. Like mostly cryptids, like Bigfoot and Loch Ness monster. Even though it scared the hell out of me, I guess looking back, it was more like because it scared me so much, I was fascinated by it. But yeah, let's actually get through the video, get through the short. Okay, so this one is Gabriel, named after the angel. Wait, is this? I was gonna say I see that he has a penchant for drawing the raised hand in ambiguous intent. But I mean, we can also see another hand down here. Is that from another drawing, perhaps? From a previous day's drawing. And this music is weirdly comforting, like he just ended and beat your nightmare in his text speech saying, "Congratulations, you may now proceed to live life normally." I mean, kind of, yeah. It makes sense. In this modern day, a lot of horror is based off of things. It's based off of like childhood, sort of not iconography, but things that we were familiar with during childhood. I mean, there's like the Poppy's Playhouse horror thing, well, I still cannot remember the name of this. Let me look it up. It's one of the most popular. One of the most popular genres of horror. Yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't know how I forgot the name of that thing for like several days in a row. But yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's is like the most, like the epitome of this sort of thing, where it's like taking something that was that's very childhood oriented and nostalgic, and turning it into something terrifying. It's very in vogue nowadays. So it makes sense that the music that we're hearing from the series that you're using for the series would also have that kind of comforting feeling, but then it's been sort of distorted in some way to sort of corrupt that, which is basically what a lot of horror is nowadays, comforting things that have been distorted in some way, shape, or form. But yeah. Yes, boss. They keep getting creepier. Are they a threat? Like, is this like is this a Five Nights at Freddy's type? Riffing off of that. But yeah, look at this angel, isn't he so pure? It certainly has biblically accurate angel type energy. Like they're like, we can't show our true form to the mortals, so we're gonna like don this flesh suit sort of thing, and that will surely calm their nerves, right? Like uncanny valley. Never heard of it. Yeah, this is the long boy bonds. I like this title. The title of the series is every time you're talking to your math teacher, every time he gives you math homework, as if that's like a. I mean, it's not like a weekly occurrence at the like least? Like, is I mean, but basically what I'm saying is, I mean, you must be doing these drawings like every day, right? Like, yeah, imagine being the teacher getting these drawings. If I was in that position, I'd be more impressed than scared. You know, should I get this person's art into an art museum because it deserves being one? I mean, yeah, they're. I mean, yeah, these art pieces are definitely up there. It being a bonsai creature is kind of interesting because one of the big I mean, bonsai is all about taking what would normally be a average sized tree, but then you sort of clip it regularly to keep it sort of small and I don't know, like portable sized. So it's kind of an interesting idea to like apply this creature where like this is like a carefully manicured and like managed thing, and like it's a manicured version of the unrestrained, wild, variant. And it still looks like this. So I would not want to see what the free range version would look like. Well, this is actually just a math teacher with no sanity left. We're getting the game theory style commentary here. Oh Lord, poor Anastasia. Your Pookie sounds like they sound traumatized. Like they open a comment with just there's a standard joke. A joke comment riffing off of the content. Like the math questions scare me more than drawing, but then they feel the need, presumably because they've either been witness to or have had the personal experience, like just the professional misunderstanders that roam the internet, just like please don't reply to his comment. It was a lighthearted joke. I do find the math questions easy, and his comment was just a joke. Please, it was just a joke. Don't skewer me in the comments. I want to see. Maybe they're baiting. Maybe they're just baiting. But yeah. In fact, the author answers to them well. It's Sigma notation. These are just a summation. Don't let any Gen Beta see this. Most people were actually being pretty decent. Maybe they actually saved themselves by adding. Maybe they saved themselves a lot of heartache, whatever, by adding that little plea. But yeah. Day 8, I give my student more homework every time he draws something creepy. Oh, okay, so yeah, hey guys, check out Dr. Nowhere's channel to see Long Boy's sick dance moves. Okay, so it seems like they're doing a bit of a free advertisement for people's horror creations. I mean, maybe that's what's happening. And maybe it's not a choice between them either plagiarizing people's pre-existing artwork or them creating all this stuff out of whole cloth. Maybe they're just choosing to, I guess, advertise other people's work. I mean, certainly, I guess depending on how popular Dr. Nowhere is. Oh my lord! Something like these are even seeing these sort of rendered versions of these things is actually a little creepier. And like I'm literally feeling my fight or flight response being activated. But Dr. Nowhere seems to be pretty popular. 831,000 subscribers. So, I guess this is sort of a mutually beneficial relationship. But yeah, I did not expect the drawings were actually the lighter, more handleable versions of these pieces. But yeah.
Day of torturing my math teacher every time he gives me homework.
I got the Texas speech voice now. Okay, we got the Old English spelling of Craig. Really drive home that feeling of this being like some sort of like a deposed mad king who is like, I don't know, who is like recuse themselves to like their chambers or whatever, and now you open the door, in some Dark Souls or Elden Rings esque like encounter. But yeah, my boy Craig is a fucking nightmare. Is fucking nightmare fueled. I love it. Yeah, no lies detected here. Yeah, looks like the guy who's right behind me all the time, breathing down my neck. Seems real chill. Ooh, all shits and giggles until he draws one of you. Okay, draws one for you. People, yeah. People are pulling out this joke. I think it's like the second time we've seen this one, but yeah. Imagine he responds back. Imagine he responds back with something even scarier. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that'd be the good way for for a LukeArt to sort of escalate the story by having like day one of my teacher torturing me with drawings of his own drawings. Yeah, speaking, I guess looking at the math problem, it's like a more geometry. These math problems are really kind of all over the place. I'm not sure. Like I said, he probably is not an actual student in an actual math class. We probably know he's just printing off math tests from the online. But yeah. Ooh, getting the ink on there now, not just the pencil and pen. All right. Sort of continuing the trend of these being sort of ambiguously helpful, and also that he's finally answering some of these questions. That's good to know. Good to know. Good to see. He's not just wasting all of his wasting all the time drawing these horrors, though he has no time left to actually do the homework. But yeah, I mean, I'm getting to see another one of these very common elements, these sorts of horrors, which is this very, very asymmetrical, bizarre proportioned skulls and like obscured facial features. But then also he's got a very, very classic horror trope of having some sort of familiar element added on top of that in the form of this tie and collar combo. Definitely, these elements really come together to create. I don't know what would you call it? Like like this feeling of like giving you enough stuff to read into it without giving you answers. But yeah, he's a distinguished gentleman. He's just coming here to tell you to take care. He means no ill will. He's like take care of the actual real life horrors in the world, like like bills and corrupt politicians and potholes and whatnot. Yeah, you also drew the guy outside my window. Epic. Luckily I'm on the second floor, so this is when actually no, actually if I saw this being on the second floor, that would actually be even more terrifying than seeing it on the first floor. But yeah. When was the last time you saw your friends, your family? Okay, this is actually showing the real terror, making the hermits and the introverts and the loners feel bad for not attending all the family socials. Yeah, take care. Hell nah, twin. I'm good. Well, I'm sure twin is just slang. Is not what Earl this Philly is not implying this person looks any way resembles him anyway. Yeah. This one is definitely the one I've seen. This is from that famous Russian sleep experiment creepypasta. I mean, I recognize the previous triangle-headed one as well. I mean, this is one where know the name of the reference. I mean, he's presumably. I mean, yeah. I guess the case is closed. He's mostly drawing pre-existing beasties or whatever. But yeah, I remember thinking the Russian sleeping stream was actually a real thing before I realized it was just a creepypasta. Oh yeah, I think we all went through that phase when we were young and we came across those sorts of creepypastas. I mean, I remember when I was but a teen, there was this Reddit. I don't remember where it was, but there was this Reddit like series of posts from like a like a fictional park ranger who was relating their stories of relating their experiences of finding bizarre, out of place staircases in the woods and coming up with all sorts of spooky paranormal activity going on there. And for a bit, I did believe it, especially because the comments would always well, not always, but there were definitely a lot of comments that were like, yeah, I've totally experienced the exact thing or not the exact. I totally experienced similar spooky shit in the woods, and like, I mean, fair. I'm sure out in the wilderness, it's definitely way creepier than you would imagine. But there's perhaps unfortunately there's nothing as interesting as things like this out there. Mostly just cougars that are yowling like women being killed and other like foxes that also happen to sound a lot like women being killed. Lots of animals that weirdly sound a lot like women being killed. Yeah. The homework itself was more scary. I mean, yeah. I don't exactly recognize what type of math problem this is, but seeing the gradient at x equals pi over 6 that doesn't fill me with warm fuzzies. Yeah. Graduating from analog horror to ancient creepypastas. I love it. Yeah. I mean, this was like from at least the early like 20 teens, right? I mean, might even been before that, but yeah. It is definitely working because you can see that she turns the he every few shorts. Yeah. I see what they're they're saying that basically it's like fucking Harry Potter's teacher of the defending against the dark arts, like it's the revolving door. They're like, okay, yeah, this is too much, but I can't handle this. I quit, or at least I'm not teaching this student. So you're gonna be a new teacher for that.
Day 11 of torturing my math teacher every time he gives me homework.
All right, another innocuously named entity, John, with his hat-like growths on his head. Yeah, I'm sure over the many centuries of cultural fashion evolution, there's been a hat that looked something like this. But very slender man, influenced. But yeah, I've heard this music so much that it turned around and became kind of comforting. Yeah. I like to think that sometimes this math teacher feels a little lonely, but when he sees this, he remembers that he is never alone. Yeah. Like, kind of the opposite of the previous comment, where it's like a sentiment that is normally comforting, but he just kind of turned on its head, implied. I tried this. My math teacher liked it so much, and he let me skip school for a week because I was clearly insane. Thanks, man. Yeah, it sounded very worth it. But yeah, here's a question: if you woke up one day and you can see and hear a deceased person, but you're the only one that can hear them or see them, what would you talk what would you talk about? I mean, I would probably assume that I was schizophrenic. I mean, luckily, I'm kind of past the age where that sort of thing would normally uh, show up. So I mean, maybe there'd be the possibility in my mind that there was something paranormal, but I would. Then yeah, I'm kind of a boring person in that sense. I would probably just assume, I was just having a what was it? A Beautiful Mind moment? Is that the name of the movie? Yeah, I would assume I was being uh, schizophrenic, but yeah. All right. I mean, somehow this one's kind of like somehow this one's kind of like the one of the more viscerally creepy ones so far. I mean, I think perhaps it's because it's normal enough to kind of fit uncanny valley territory. Because I mean, a lot of these other guys are just kind of freak, just freaks. It's a little hard to this. This is so far outside the bounds of reality. It's a little easy to tell yourself, it couldn't possibly be real. But this could, this is a little close. This is close enough that your mind can kind of imagine it being a real person. Just apparently inside your house. Because I was imagining it on the window, but yeah, even worse, they're already in your home. Yeah, yeah. The teacher's they're gonna call the fucking cops at this point. Yeah, probably. Parent teacher conference gonna be wild. Yeah, yeah. It's gone from introducing your friends to erasing sanity in a single sentence. Poetic. Yeah. At this point, the music isn't even scary. It's calming and relaxing. Oh, all right, okay. So, I mean, I haven't watched these videos enough or for a long enough amount of time to have gotten to that point in my journey where I feel comforted by music. But yeah, I'm sure probably by the end of the series, like day 30 or whatever, I'll be feeling oddly comforted. Yeah. I showed this to my brother, and he said, "I think this person is going mentally insane." Not an unwarranted conclusion.
Day 13 of torturing my math teacher every time she gives me.
Okay, I'm wondering what's the why does he sometimes he text to speech like it's just he just feels like that like I'm just feeling TTSy today or is there like some artistic element to it like I think this one would really I think TTS would really go well with this eldritch abomination, but not the other one, not the one inside your walls, whatever. But again with the friendly hand. Yeah, Freddy. I think this is what happens when you hear why the long face is one too many times. You give no reason for the long face. I'm sorry, I was looking at that. I was looking at the graph instead of the horror, instead of Freddy, the horror. But yeah, plot twist. His teacher actually hangs him up like drawings of her favorite child. Oh yeah. They accidentally typo it once again. I mean, you think by this point in time they'd be a little more, on top of that. Yeah. I swear this kid's gonna kill me one day. Mr. Joel 2025. Yeah. Day 13 of making the homework more difficult every time my student draws eldritch horror. I mean, to be fair, the homework is kind of all over the place. I mean, maybe as part of the difficulty, they just throw in random shit at them, like yeah, if you weren't spending so much time drawing these yee ass drawings, you would be able to, do basic graphs sort of thing. You'd be able to recognize which graph represents sign X or whatever, or maybe say sign X. Yeah. I wonder if this person showed any of the drawings to their classmates when they think about it. The classmates' perspective would be nice. That's all I'm saying. True, true. I mean, presumably they're drawing these things at home because it doesn't look like a normal wooden desk underneath the paper. But maybe they are at school drawing these things. I mean, I think if they were at school while drawing these, by now the teacher would be like, okay, enough with this nonsense. But yeah, Freddy seems like a cool guy. I'd be friends with him. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the ones that are raising their hands, kind of friendly-ish. Those are the ones that feel like they could be friendly. They even have chill, normal names like Freddy. Nothing. I mean, there's no horror monster with a name like Freddy, right? Like it's never happened at all. But yeah. Okay, new song. Okay, Jeppy. Okay, now look, Lugar is completely destroying this conceit that these are separate days. These are separate homework assignments by having Craig on the same. By drawing this Jeppy, on the same homework sheet as Craig on. I mean, that was supposedly several days ago, but when you're like, what are we supposed to believe? The teacher was like, okay, they gave you the homework and said, actually answer the. I mean, maybe they actually answer the damn questions and turn back in. And you're like, fuck that. I'm just gonna draw another one on there, but. Okay, no, I guess they're aware. They're like if you saw Craig's foot in the background. I mean, it's not exactly hiding. It's not trying to shelter us from this creature, from Craig. Yeah. Have you ever actually shown your math teachers? I'm sure they'd be delighted. I mean, yeah, probably. I mean, unless you're some sort of born again Christian, I think most teachers would find this cool. Yeah, he looks the kindest out of all of them. Yeah, I think I can agree with that. I mean, I'm not sure if I would want to hug this guy. He seems like he seems pretty spindly. He's got these little, maybe fur, maybe nails sticking out of him. They might be a little uncomfortable to hug, but he does look pretty chill. And he doesn't have any horribly out of proportion features too much. I mean, his nose is a little higher than I would expect, I think. But other than that, he seems to be very chill, very neutral facial expression. First of all, chill drawing. Second of all, chill music. Third of all, brilliant talent. I mean, even if he's copying pre-existing characters, I mean, he's still drawing them, and he's doing great dot shading and patching shading on the hand. I mean, it's definitely really good. Yeah. To be fair, there were times in one of my old schools where I got several days of the same exact homework, the same homework I already did. I got another page of the same thing. Damn. I don't remember that ever happening for me, but I have heard that schooling has been progressively getting more and more just worse. It's been deteriorating quite a bit. I mean, my brother, who's 3 years younger than me, also has described similar things. I think it's not extreme, and it's been at this point it's been almost 10 years since I was in high school. So I mean, for all I know, the youngins of the youth of today are dealing with the teacher giving out the same exact homework several times in a row. I mean, I'm not sure what the point of that would be. I mean, to be fair, that might be interesting though, because it's giving the student a chance to really, if they haven't already, if they don't already understand the homework, it's giving them a chance to try it again, and then if they're good at it, it's giving them a chance to try it out again. Getting a bot on Twitch side, delete, blast that from orbit. Fortunately, it shows up on the VOD. But anyway, yeah. All shits and giggles until he says, "Are these the demons that you see at night?" Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah, it would make sense if a lot of these creatures were like just depictions of people's sleep paralysis demons. I mean, there would be that would I mean, given that they're basically like custom made by our brains to be as scary as possible, it makes sense that they would be so spooky. The Big Bruh 5494 is really getting to the heart of the matter with different music. Apparently, yeah, I wanted to switch it up a bit. After 2 weeks of the same exact music, I think there was that one video where they had the different audio. So every once in a while he switches it up. He doesn't do this. He does not do the same thing. Or he's not a one trick pony. But yeah, now we're moving on to week 3. This one, probably the one that looks the most like a Soulsborne boss, based on like a a priest or something like that. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, I think I realized the audio was kind of loud. Maybe I should turn that down a bit. Not mute it all the way. And they. Oh, wait, is this. This is saying the day 2 of giving my crush a cute drawing will be posted on Friday. And she ran away on day 1. Tears. Actually, maybe I can have that one be like next year's react. I'm sure by then they'll have plenty of days to go through. We need all of them in one picture, like a family reunion. Honestly, yeah, and get like a sort of a Jason and Freddy style crossover. But point of view, the math teacher is using these drawings to create his own analog horror videos. But this person doesn't realize this is not this person's art style, but more homework equals more pain. Yeah, at this point, he's not doing this because of his teacher giving him homework. He's just doing it for the love of the game. Yeah. And another kind of mask type horror, Liam. Wait, why the? Okay. I'm more interested in why the questions seem to be hand numbered. I'm not sure what's going on there. Okay, we got new music. I guess you wanted another instance where LukeArt wanted to switch it up a bit. Maybe I should turn it along down a little. Hopefully it hasn't been too loud this whole time. I don't want to. I mean, the only thing more scary than these beasties is too loud audio you got to turn down. Because there's Oliver, who appears to have simultaneously lost his bottom jaw while still keeping his teeth. We can see all of like esophagus and shit. Yeah, no eyes. Yeah. Why did you leave me here? Okay. That's not guilt. That's built. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, this is a bit of a skeleton ass build. I'm not sure if I would. I mean, normally when we say someone's built, we kind of are implying they got some musculature. And this guy is looks like he missed every day. But yeah. Oh, okay, okay. This person is getting creative in the comments. I don't think I do not think I'm going to read all of this, given that it's decently long. But yeah. And the fact his name changes every time is yelling that his teachers keep quitting because of him. I remember yesterday when I gave Oliver $20 when I saw him. He wanted to buy Mentos. He's a really nice dude, and even said thank you. So what? I mean, I haven't bought Mentos in a while, but are they like $20 or? I mean, I guess he's probably buying other things. You know, just getting his groceries and some Mentos as a little treat. Yeah, yeah. I think I can see this guy being into Mentos. He has a build for it. Yeah. Okay, back to the original music. Okay, so the teacher is still Joel apparently. More handwritten numbers, but yeah. Anyway. Oh God, a hello Joel chain is 815 replies long. I don't. Yep, yep. Okay, does he ever ask you about it or anything, or does he just glance fearfully in your direction once in a while during class? Like, let's see what LukeArts' response is. He does laugh out sometimes and compliments the drawings, but he has been looking tired lately, and I think I'm ruining his sleep. Yes, yeah. I imagine some of these things are gonna make it a little difficult to go to the bathroom tonight, but. He looks so comfortable to me now after watching so many of your videos. Heart, roll, rose, rose. The people we're getting Stockholm syndrome. He's kind of waving, even if he's missing all the appendages for a normal wave. But he's got a very maniacal grin. Kind of speaking to his unending joy at what is about to come. But yeah. Oh, you know what? I accidentally already saw this one. Wait, did we see 18? No, we did not see 18. It's like a weird sort of Frankenstein's monster sort of built. Now this one's built. Dave, all right, a light bulb headed motherfucker. But yeah, Taylor. So these horrors this person is drawing kind of look like they would fit in the Spooky Month series. I'm assuming the Spooky Month is just referring to October. I mean, yeah, that's kind of. I mean, that's certainly the point why this is the reason why I'm watching him today. But I mean, this one was drawn 2 weeks ago, so it makes sense. I mean, I think I only see 2 weeks ago was like, yeah, that was the 18th. That makes sense if he was doing one a day. Yeah, this one showing some real classic horror monster trope with the insane asymmetry between the random buff arm, like they got the SpongeBob fake arm thing from that one episode, but then all the other limbs are like weird straw-looking things. The little crinkle for the straw bends and the dark, I guess, goo in there. I mean, actually, this does also look like the bottom of a light bulb. So it really, I don't know, weird mix of elements. Little Brody went to the gym, yeah, but only did one arm. Yeah, hey guys, David's been going to the gym recently. What do you think of his progress? Yeah, I think he needs to work on more than just his right arm. Because there's like, like their exercises will do both arms. Like otherwise you're gonna end up with some real bad imbalances that will cause weird compensation, be like movements, whatever. But yeah, analog horror. You should be getting some analog gains. Yeah, yep. And the customary shits and giggles until the teacher responds back with a scary drawing 2 comment. It seems like it's not getting as many likes as it was before, but ooh, I've heard. What is this music from? I've heard this before. I mean, oh wait, this wasn't. This in Danganronpa. Like, it's kind of a reverse version, but the second game of Danganronpa had music. It has a scene with music that sounds a lot like this. So maybe. I mean, given that was supposed to be a spoof of a horror game, maybe it's just similar, like Convergent Evolution type stuff. I mean, this guy. I think this is the first of the horrors. It kind of looks more just annoying than they do either scary or potentially friendly. I mean, I don't know. Something about that smile feels kind of shit-eating, like a shit-eating grin on this guy. Like feels like he'd be more annoying than anything else. But yeah. Guys, my teacher might have quit. He didn't come to school today. Yeah, can't imagine why. Crazy how this teacher is still in the school giving him homework while being mentally tortured. Well, okay. Uma Shankar Sama, Uma Shankar Sharma 72119. I think you'll find that a lot of teachers, regardless of what kind of abominations their students are drawing on their homework, are being mentally tortured by the job, whether it's from the students or the abysmal, basically non-existent pay that they're getting. But he's probably crying every time grading homework comes around. Oh, and then apparently he got 200. LukeArt got 200K subs. So I mean, yeah, good on him. Yeah, while Chris looks like a chill dude. I mean, maybe he looks like he's probably harmless. I'll say that, but I don't know. It sounds like he might talk about annoying things in an annoying manner. I don't know. Maybe that's me projecting. Okay, yeah. For a second there during Lewis's creation, he kind of looked like Agni, the Agni face from Fire Punch. For those who you don't know, for a second he kind of looked like this guy, but then at the end, it did not turn out that way. Definitely, this one feels a little more confronting. It's got some gray alien ass energy. Yeah, this is one of the few ones that, despite the waving hand, I still feel a little like I'm not totally safe yet. I tried this out and she just gave me an F, bro. Well, I mean, you have to also answer the questions. Can't just draw the thingamajig. You gotta also answer the questions. But yeah, this guy's gonna get the award for torturing his teacher for a month at this rate. And yeah, it seems like he stopped since when like, it was 2 days ago. So he has been keeping up his days. So cute. I bet your teacher will love it. Little eyebrow. Well, I guess not emojis, but anyway. Lewis is so beautiful. I bet your teacher definitely appreciates this. We're getting a lot of now. We're getting a lot of the facetious comments. At least I hope. But yeah. Ooh, a new OST. Okay, interesting. Thy flesh will worship me if you cannot. Definitely, really an ominous. It's declaration. Yeah, very very priestly. We get the. No, I feel like he definitely kind of made the. I mean, I'm gonna be into a bit of art critique now. I feel like drawing over, filling in the drawing like that kind of made it harder to see the rosary, the rosary hanging from their hand, presumably. I mean, no, they did a good job with the silhouette, kind of implying that they're holding it to their chest. But I feel like it'd be a little clear if they maybe had a white sort of a white undershirt to help this sort of stand out from the background. But yeah, ignoring what appears to be a like face opening up, Parasite the Maxim style in order to consume the viewer. But yeah, it was just actually this one just came out like today, like an hour ago. So reading LukeArts with his cheeky little happy Halloween, everyone. He looks so innocent. What happened to him? Sobbing. I think this is a priest who you kind of were visited by some ungodly visitors. This is like the scariest drawing yet. Yeah, I think this one is like a departure from a lot of the tropes and trends that LukeArt has been using. Or at least the art that LukeArt has been using. But, bro is not what stares at the void. He is what stares back from within it. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, all giggles and shit until someone shits and giggles. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, that was an interesting subversion of the early all giggles and shits comments. Okay.